Hi all, good morning. This is Devas Raut. We are learning in the previous session we learned about the image element, SRC, alt and style attributes, their uses. We also did the things in the programmatically way. Okay, so moving forward, we also read about the lang attribute. I think lang one, yeah, and wrote about the first two character denotes the language like it is English, and the last two character denotes the country one. Okay, so we will be discussing something on the title attribute. So what does title attribute do? We have previously also saw that part. Like the title attribute defines some extra information about an element. Okay, the value of the title attribute will be displayed as a tooltip when you mouse over the element. Let's say yeah, this is the last program we have run. Right click, open with live server, so it will be opened. So like here, see the things we have written in the title. So like here we have written under title language, we have written, so where that will be showing up. So this will be showing up when we will be moving our mouse. This is the mouse tooltip, the mouse cursor. We tell it as a mouse tooltip. Whenever we will put that mouse tooltip over here, like where the title is denoting, if we will put our mouse tooltip over there, then it will show like this. The language, means the title, it will show up, and the URL of the page, okay, that it will also show up, like the host name and the code in which it is running. Okay, that is the work of the title one. So moving forward, we'll note it down about the title one. Right. So the title attribute, some extra information about an element. Okay. So we know that in the HTML we have seen across, if you have come across some of the codes, we have seen that single quotes and double quotes. Okay. So single quotes and double quotes will be showing up like this. Okay. So here like this. So single quotes and double quotes. So double quotes around attributes values are the most common in HTML, but single quotes can also be used. Okay, like we can use either double quotes or else we can also use single quotes also. But in some situation where you are using the double quotes in between some value you want to separate, then for separating we can use the single quotes. Let's say here we are, or like you can do the alternate way. Like I'm telling, if something you are denoting like this, let's say like we have double quote, some value is there. Okay, inside a double quotes we have some value which we want to separate, then we can use here single quote. Okay, also we can do the vice versa also, like we can write here single quotes, we can write inside it something we want to separate, then we can use the double quotes here. Okay, this way. So look here, like title is the attribute. So attribute always be in the key value pair. This is the key and this is the value part. So in the value we are writing the John Sutgun Nelson, but we want to separate this part. Okay, we want to separate this part. Then we will be writing here double quotes, or else we can do the vice versa as I did told. Okay, like here. So double quotes around attributes value are most common in HTML, but single quotes can also be used. In some situations, when the attribute value itself contains double quotes, it is necessary to use single quotes. Okay, when it is double quote, you will use single quote inside. When it is single quote, you will use double quotes here. Okay. So moving forward, so we have read all these things now, and we will be moving forward with the heading part. Okay, so headings are like okay, before that we will write the single quotes and double quotes in the code wise. Try to miss it. Okay, so we have put this in the form of example here, like okay, page is okay. See here, if we are using here what double quotes inside it, we are using single quotes. Let's say we will not use single quote and we will use a double quotes. Then what will it get? Like here, see, it will take this from this to this as a one value, and from this onwards it will tell that these are the errors. Like see, the quotes are turning into red. Okay, means it's a error. Okay, if I'll put here single quotes again, then good, I think, yeah. So let's run this one in the live server. Already we are running it. Okay, yeah, see here, this part is available of this, and when we hover the mouse tooltip over it, then see the title is coming and the HTML part is coming in single quotes. Okay, so Devas HTML and Raut. Okay, it is coming. So title is that when we hover over it, then it will just display. When you hover over it, then it will display. That is the work of the title. Okay, so let's moving forward. Okay, now we will study about the heading part. Okay, like headings are very important. Okay, like search engines use the headings to index the structure and content of your web page. Okay, users often skim a page by its heading. It's important to use headings. Okay, like whenever a user go to your page, then the first thing that catches his eye is the heading part. Okay, and search engine always use your headings to index. Index means a heading, means index in the in, like we can say arrays, we have indexes there, that like that in case of the arrays, the index denotes a small space, like that only it index the structure and content of your web page. Okay, like according to the heading, it will change the structure and content of your web page. Okay, so like bigger headings, like each HTML heading has a default size. Okay, however you can specify the size. Okay, you can specify the size for any heading with the style attribute, and also you can use the CSS property, like font size is there, you can also use that. Okay, you can do that. Okay, so headings we know, we will not waste much time on it. We know about the headings part. Okay, like headings we can write by default only H1 we can write, and it will show some bigger text from H1 to H6, from big to small, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Like fast one will be H1, then the next fast, the bigger one will be H1, then the smaller one will be H2. Okay, like this only. H1, then it will be like H3, okay, H4, then H5, then like H6. Like this sequence will be there. The smaller text will be like H6. Okay, gradually the text size will increase. And one thing, when you write the heading, like this is the heading part. So whenever you are writing a heading, after that a space is there. Like here you can see from this paragraph and this, some space is there automatically, that space will always be given in case of paragraph using, or in case of the heading part. Okay, like one heading will be there, after a space is there, then only another text will be allowed to be written in the web browser. Okay, So let's do that one. Okay. So like we are exploring like h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6. For this, if you'll go and see, so like the things are like this. So h1 will be much more, I think it is not loaded properly. Open with live server. Yeah, like h1 is a little bit bigger than h2. Like sequentially it is like you can say s6 is the lowest one, and like more bigger you can go for h5, then h4, h3, h2, then h1. Okay, things are like this. So and these things are part of the HTML. These default settings are there. If we want that our own style for the headings, we can also do it with the attribute style as we discussed. So h1, let's say style, and then we will be doing here what, then inside the style, like we want to change the font one. Okay, font size we want to change. Then font size I just want like I want large, I want. So let's see how the h1 size will be. Okay, so we'll see here. See, now the h1 size and h3 size, this one is h2 and this is h3. So h1 and h3 is of similar size. Okay, so like h1 and h3, these two h1 and h3 now have similar size as we have changed the font one. Okay, let's say we will change the font. By this also we can change, and also by also pixels we can change, like 60 pixel. If we will write here like this, let's see how it behaves. So 60 pixel, it is lot more bigger than the for the size we just get from the HTML by default size of h1. So if we will manually do it, then the size will be lot more bigger than that. Okay, so like this we can just override the HTML by default settings. So these are the things for the headings part, and moving forward we will look into for the paragraph ones. Okay, so in case of the paragraph ones, so like the paragraph we can represent by the p letter for the paragraph. So paragraph elements, like the paragraph element defines a paragraph. Like a paragraph always starts on a new line, and like browsers automatically add some white space before and after the paragraph, like we saw in the case of the heading. So where the heading is being written, like we saw that from the heading before and like after the heading, we saw some spaces are there, white space. That same thing is being observed in case of paragraph also. So with HTML you cannot change the design by adding extra space or extra line in your HTML code. Okay, the browser will automatically remove any extra spaces and lines when the page is displayed. Okay, just remember these things. So like HTML paragraph, so this p tag, we call this as p tag. So p letter is that, it's called element. Okay, p is a element. Whenever diamond braces will be put around it, then we call it as a tag. A paragraph always starts on a new line, and browser automatically adds some white space and a margin. A white space means a margin before and after the paragraph. And one thing you should remember, with HTML you cannot change the display by adding extra space or extra line in your HTML code. While adding code wise will not change anything unless and until there is something is there, like you have adding some styling to it, then only extra space will be there, or else some codes are there. Okay, like non-breaking space is there, NBSP. So with that you can add some extra space or extra line only by your code wise, like this giving space. Like here we saw this space is showing there. But when also we will compile this one, like no extra space will be there unless and until there is some styling is there for that. Okay, and the browser will automatically remove any extra space and lines when the page is displayed. Okay, we can see that also if you want. Like let's say this one is there, so let's say we have one paragraph is there, p, let's add here. So I will write here Markov language. Okay, I'm just writing here. Okay, writing these things. So if we see this is displayed like that only with some single space. If we are in the misunderstanding that this space is because we gave space here, that is wrong. Let's say I will give this much space here. Okay, then again we will see in the code, is the space is there? I'll repress the press. Is the space is there? No, not there. No space is there. Even though I will put it in next line. Okay, then also it will not. It will take only its by default space only, and any other spaces in the code, this much spaces HTML will remove, and only this part it will remove. If we want some space, then we can add this one, NBSP, non-breaking space. Okay, we can add this one. Okay, if we want space, we can add this. We can add this, then only a space will be there. If you will see here, see some spaces are being added here. Okay, great. So moving forward, we will see about the horizontal rules. Like there is one element is there and we call it as HR tag, defines a thematic break in the HTML page and is most often displayed as a horizontal rule. Okay, the HR element is used to separate content, okay, or define a change in the HTML page. Okay, so we'll look into that. So this is the thing. So we will see that here. So you can see here, like horizontal rules is there. We have see that there is some lines will be put there. Okay, okay, let's see. We'll see the horizontal rules through coding ways. So let's create another project one. Rename. Okay, creating another file. Let's see. So how to get the template? Control space HTML sample will create this one. Okay, we don't require now all these things. Okay, page title, horizontal rules means lines. Okay, so let's say right here, like h1 will be there, something will be there, heading 1, some paragraph will be writing, p, lorem 10 tab. So if we want to write some paragraph, okay, if you write some paragraph like this, so there's no meaning is there, but we just want for practice purpose. So like if we want how much words the paragraph may contains. Okay, so right here like lorem, L-O-R-E-M, lorem. So how much words do you want? 10, 20, 30, 40. So like those many words, like I will write lorem 20. Then just press the tab button. So like 20 words will be automatically written. Okay, so for only practice purpose you can use this. Okay, and like okay, so Mhm. So like I will write here HR the horizontal rule. Okay, and again these things unnecessary by writing, copy these things. Okay, so here heading 2 will be there, H2 will be there. Okay, let's load this and we will see what the HR tag does actually. Okay, see here the heading 1 is printed and the paragraph is also printed. Below that one line is there. If we want to separate something, then we use the HR tag. It is the horizontal rule, means the horizontal line. Okay, the horizontal rules. Okay, great. So after this we will learn about the line break. So what is line break? So line break actually, if like something I have written now, just now you have seen that although I have written in these two part, although I have entered just press the enter button and I have written here, then also the page will be displayed only like this in a single line, not in the double line. If I want to print from this part to this part in one line and from this part to this part in the second line, if we want to do that, then we will go for the line break one. So line break we have like BR element is there. Okay, BR element is there, we can use that for line break. Okay, so for line break we can do that. Let's say we are writing a paragraph and we want that it should like if you want line break without starting a paragraph, okay, new line will be there, so we will use this one. We will see this one. Okay, okay, so control space HTML sample, we will be doing here what line break. Okay, let's say we have a paragraph is there, lorem, like 50 words are there. Okay, tab, so 50 words been there. If you will print like this, then what it will see, let's say the live server, see here, like it will be displayed like this only. It will take the full length of the browser. The browser will take the full length of the page. When the page will end, like this is here hero is there, like here the page ends, after that it will start the new line. Okay, it is not following like that. So in the code wise we like single line we have there because we have that much length we have, so we are writing a single line. But in the browser, as much the space as there in the browser space, that much it will be written here. After that a enter will be after that a new line will be started and then again it will be printed. But no, we just want to have a new line from this point. Okay, then after that we want a new line from this point, then we have to do it with the BR tag. Okay, so let's say I want from here BR. Okay, and after that I want from here BR will be there. Let's see how it behaves. See here. Okay, see here, I have converted into English, that's why you are able to see that in English. So see here, from this point, okay, from this point I have placed a BR, so after this a new line started. So after this I have placed a BR, so a new line have started. Okay, that is the case of the line break. So this much we will cover in this session, and we will be learning more like pre-tag and like style attribute we will be learning in more depth. Okay, then formatting elements, all those things. Okay, till then, thank you.